to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight asking that you be with us as we conduct city business. Make our decisions good. We ask that you would always be with us. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Now call this meeting of the 14th Judge City Commission to order. Consent agenda, we got, we're gonna do both of them at the same time. We have a regular commission meeting we had on 7/5/16. We had a special meeting we had on 7/13/16. Did everybody have a chance to look over that? Do a motion to approve?
So moved.
I got a motion from Commissioner Ashcroft. Thursday? I have a second. Second by Commissioner Ashcroft. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bill here today, okay. Doing a lot already. City attorney.
I don't have anything.
Just says update.
Yeah, you're updated.
All right. And Ms. Charlotte, I guess you will be taking over Mr. Jim tonight.
I will. I believe Mr. Bruce Ballister is here to speak to the CDBG grant application, and that's the first thing under old business.
Well, I wish I had bright shiny news for you. I don't. I'm looking around at damage control. All I can say is there was a new rule and it's a crucial little element in it. I remember sending the city engineer the criteria for the letter, got all the stuff in the letter he needed to have. And when he asked where should I send it, I looked at my old application from the last one, and it's Patrick Howard did the same thing. The new rule says send it to the chief elected official. What we are proposing, I don't know if you have it in your package, I proposed a letter of protest. We think that the penalty of the full 100 points for readiness to proceed is extremely outrageous. You put your CDBG or CATF meeting out of order, you lose 5 points or 10 points. This is 100 points, it's a killer. The drop is from right in the middle of the pack to third from the bottom. And there's just no way to recover that kind of a loss. So, in talking with our grant manager at CDBG, and what to do, he said your only recourse is a protest letter. I think that it needs to come with the full weight of the city commission, and propose some language and anything in that letter that you want to revise, change, strengthen, or weaken. The fact of the matter is the city is ready to proceed. They've been ready to proceed for a year and a half. I suspect have been ready. The new technicality that the department threw in their new rule this year was meant to be a gotcha or what, if there's any particular point in it. The last rule had no particular guidance who it had to be addressed to. And I missed it. The city engineer missed it. It's just, we missed it. We're looking for some, when we admit error is there, we're looking for some leniency on it because of the severity of the problem. We still have a North Person Joe. And so, with y'all's consent, we'll have this letter placed on, reformatted to city letterhead, and sent off to Mr. Doherty. And it might be appropriate to send it to his supervisor, so it's not the person who made the rule, but he can request it. If I was sent right now to him, he's head of that department, he probably ought to be CC'd, have it be sent to one person further up the food chain. My director said we probably ought to have, he would have a sub rosa conversation with Sissy Proctor. So this is kind of an outrageous penalty for the extent of the mistake, and the fact that the city is ready to proceed. All the other public hearing things were done. We know that public hearings are deal killers, but you'd rather proceed with the protest letter and see where we can fall out.
Bruce, I just want to say I'm very unhappy
was,
And I know you've been working for us for a long time, but last year, we didn't get it. This year, we didn't get it. And you say that a mistake was made, we're saying a $650,000 mistake has been made. I would take it that every I was dotted and every T was crossed when you're dealing with that kind of money. You know, I appreciate what you've done for our community, but it's me in a year that's gotta go knock on doors to ask people to support me. And I've been telling them for 2 years, we're gonna get them water in North Port St. Joe. It's not you, it's not Pat Howard, it's me. And you say, we missed the ball. I don't know if it's fifth ball's under admin or what. Does it? The letter mailed who? Well, the engineer sent the letter, okay?
right,
When we send a letter like this, is this something right here that we should already know how to do? You said that you did not have anything telling you any changes have been made,
No,
but
sir.
yet they had been made?
no, sir, new rule guidance had come out, and in fact, I sent the new rule paragraph to the engineer, he had it. And when I got it back, I reviewed it for the content, I looked at everything he said in there, all those things are in there. I didn't notice at the end of the line, it said, to the chief elected official.
Beats anything I've ever seen.
So, when I got the word, you know, I had called Patrick Howard, because it was getting kind of late in the season, saying, how are we doing? And he told me, he was in the process of driving down here from North Carolina. They don't have all my stuff in the car, but, you know, I'd gone through it, it was like a good application, passing you on, and it's good that they have a secondary review. The secondary reviewer person caught the fact that it was addressed to the wrong person. And he told me, I was just sick at heart, because I've been in those homes talking to those people. I know what kind of water they have. And they have my personal apology, that doesn't help them get clean water.
Bruce, if we send this letter, does it put us behind the process? Do we go to the rear of the line, or do we stay where we are?
What we would hope for is a modification of the amount of penalty that was assessed. That would move us up the line. We don't have to move up too far up the line, we can move the range.
If they dock us 50 points, do we get?
That would put you in buzzable range. As I started thinking about it, you know, they have every year surplus funds. They've got unencumbered funds. So instead of kicking out whoever's at the bottom of the line right now, they could just shift some unencumbered funds over. Perhaps that could be suggested in the letter. Every year, if there are unexpended economic development funds, they move some of those over into other departments. They're actually going to re-advertise a cycle for housing, because of the 5 housing applications that were received, the cycle, every one of them is kicked out for technical reasons. So don't have any housing grants to apply this year. HUD, which is a housing agency, so re-advertise that. That'll slow down the start of the next cycle. So instead of next cycle starting in October, it might be December, January.
So if we get back in the fundable range, when are the grants gonna be awarded?
Well, they're being awarded right now, so it'll be almost immediate if they decide to say yes to this. We have to get into the process of having the official complaint, bill lawyer up. Tom will get involved and become your advocate and support her, and see if we can get the points for it at some point that gets us into the fundable range. There seems to be a crippling overstep to assess all 100 points for readiness to proceed. That, in fact, you are ready to proceed. But it's specs ready. You're ready to go find a contractor as soon as they say go find a contractor.
I agree, they shouldn't have took 100 points from us. I mean, that's, I don't think that's fair. I understand we had an issue last year, now we got another issue. I would like to look forward and try to figure out how to work this out. I met with Clay, our engineer, not sure. Clay, have you heard anything about it? So, they're working on that. I just don't know what kind of message to send them. How harsh we get or what. I'm all about getting along with people. And, you be nice to people, and a lot of times it helps a lot better.
Right.
Work things out, so.
Our next step right now is to get a letter out.
Excuse me?
Our next step is to get this letter.
Yes, the letter of some form, and I think, having thought about it since I wrote this one, this draft, that it probably ought to go one step up to the change.
Tom, you can handle that for us?
Well, y'all need a motion basically to send this letter and we can, we'll get it to letterhead and Bruce will tell us what it is.
I have one comment, and then I'd be happy to make the motion. I think, Bruce, you've got us between a rock and a hard place. Our options here are to go forward with this or let the money go away. I would like to, moving forward, ensure that these types of things don't happen again. This is the second time that we're accountable to these citizens that we're counting on this. I know you don't deny the fact that, yes, there was an error made. Were they too harsh on us? Maybe, but that is the penalty. Personally, I'd had a list of everything that could have cost me to lose 100 points right in front of me and checks, everything. But I think going forward, we have no choice. We have to submit this letter and cross our fingers. Going forward, I would like to see the board possibly consider other options in the future on things of this nature. So I will make a motion right now to submit a letter to whoever it needs to go to.
Mr. Doherty and the supervisor, I think.
Correct. That will be my motion to Mr. Doherty and the supervisor.
We have a motion, Commissioner Esposito, we have a second. Second by Commissioner Lucille. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to make sure, it goes certified return receipt. I don't, want to get tangled up in bureaucracy and say we haven't seen any letter. So I'd like.
I'll amend that motion to reflect that.
Second, Stan. Any further discussion?
One thing I'd like to say is, if we don't get this money, it's gonna be a huge loss to our city. I mean, it really is.
We might look at another option.
I mean,
Our city employees doing the work. Save us a lot of money if they do it.
so is the plan to send this letter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we can get the money with a grant, we need to go that route. But we need to, in very short term, come up with a game plan that doesn't go through.
Because we promised these people we gotta do something.
Yeah, I can't say, no, we made a mistake again.
No, I can't either.
Is the board fine with the city engineer continuing to reach out to DO?
Absolutely. Do everything we can to get this to happen.
Absolutely, and Commissioner
Whatever we do.
Lowry, I have reached out all week long to several people, and I'm trying everything I can to help everybody
Yeah.
I can, so,
We got to have this, I mean, there's no
this
doubt.
is a deal killer.
Bruce, can we get this in a Word document?
Yes. Tomorrow morning.
Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Rick.
Mr. Mayor, our next item is the digital sign, and I believe you wanted to speak to that.
Yes, it is. Digital sign is going away for now. I've talked with the people and, they've gotta have the community behind them to make the sign work. They are talking to some more cities, Panama City being one of them. They wanna get some things in the works maybe and come back to us at a later time. I think everything, I love us putting out stuff for people to respond to. But I think when we put that out, we should have put a little more information with it. I mean, it was just said, do you want a digital sign in Fort St. Joe? Didn't say, do you want a free digital sign in Fort St. Joe? That will maybe make the city money in the long run. It didn't say that. So a lot of the people that answered it didn't know what they were answering. They won't know how much it costs, stuff like that. When we send something out, I think we need to send out the true facts and not just a smidgen on what you want to ask for. But as of now, it's off the table. I want us to keep our sign we got right now, and I want us to maintain it. Not TDC, it's not their sign. our sign, we need to take care of that sign. We might wanna spruce that sign up a little bit, do a few things to it, make it look a little nicer, and we just have to put them up there, you know? I mean, we have something we can advertise about our city, about our people in our city. When we have fundraisers, we can let them know on that board, you know, come on down and help this man, he's in need. Churches, when they wanna have certain things, we can advertise for. So, that's where I'm at with it now. Does anybody else have anything else to say at this
I
time?
totally agree with you, Mr. Mayor. I think there was a communication issue, and this is one of those instances where I don't necessarily agree with what we're doing. I do think that there is some value, but if you don't have businesses to advertise, there's no point in it. And I think that we're at the point now where, you know, the highest amount someone would be willing to pay was $100. So, it's just not feasible at this point. But going forward, maybe down the road, we can look at it again. I love the idea that it could be a revenue stream.
Mayor, I'd like to just compliment you on getting the conversation started.
Yeah.
We need the sign, we need it upgraded, we need to do something, and let's just don't forget about it. Let's just move forward, improve what we have a little bit, maybe, get a little larger letter somehow on that, a little easier to read. So there's a lot of things we can do, but I'm glad you got it started.
All right. Next.
You have the next item, and it's propane gas vehicle.
Okay, on the gas, propane gas. We talked about it last meeting. I just asked everybody to be running it through their mind. My question tonight, do you think it's to a point where we need to see if the gas company and their representative that sells these kits will come down and just give us a presentation?
Mayor, I crunched a bunch of numbers, and if our vehicles are traveling 50,000 miles a year, it's a break even. Anything over that, you're gonna get a savings. And I think right now, you know, Larry's looking for a vehicle at the water plant that probably goes well over 50,000 miles a year. And all of our police officers go over that. The way I see it, it's more than a wash on the budget. So when it comes to budget season, we can budget for that and we actually save money. Over the course of the year, we're gonna be saving the money. So I'm all for it if they need to come in and talk to us, but I think we'll need to consider this as a way to save money this budget season.
Anybody else have anything on it?
I'd say, yeah, let's move forward, get somebody from
I'll talk to the shows and see if we can get a guy that, you know, with the kids, like I said, the kids cost $6,000, but the federal government gives you $3,000 of that back. I don't know how long that program will last. Then to install them, it's $1,500 unless you want to install it yourself, and let their people stand over you and tell you what to do, and save $1,500.
And my biggest concern, still, Mr. Mayor, is the wear and tear on the vehicle. Will the vehicle not last as long? So I'd like to, if they have a mechanic that works on their vehicles, I'd like to know, does it burn cleaner? I mean, if the vehicles are only gonna run for 2 years, we gotta buy a new one, it's not saving us a dime.
We can ask all those questions, but I'll talk to them, and then they'll come in and give us some more information about it, and we'll decide from there what to do. Like I said, we can't do it the next budget anyway. All right.
That concludes the old business. We're up to new business. Fireworks Committee, Commissioner Ashbrook.
Yes, I asked permission to go ahead and try to put together a 4th of July fireworks committee to bring it back to the way things used to be, where it's a full day of events leading up to the fireworks. I just went around town very quietly, just asking people that I ran into, and I came up with 5 names so far. I'm assuming y'all are gonna make me be on that board, but I'm still looking for another person. But if you're okay with the list, or you've got people that you also want on it, we can talk later. You can bring them to me. But we're gonna try to meet the second week of August and get a game plan. We've spoken about music in the park, bringing that back. Charging for some things there. Maybe having the bouncy houses for the kids. Talked about a sing-along with Buddy Ham, kind of karaoke with the live guy behind you. People would enjoy that. We could utilize the theater once it gets up, gets a little bit more cleaned up. There's just lots of ideas that have already been thrown around. We just need to come up with a plan, and hopefully we can raise the money to have a bigger and better fireworks show.
Does anybody have a name to recommend tonight?
I'm looking for people. No hand raising?
Volunteers here, huh?
I did speak to somebody last year when we were talking, and that was down about as far as we got off that. Let me run it by them, and then you don't have somebody, it's not a big deal, I just let you know one or two, so I'll just give you their name. And I do, recommend the #1 spot up here with Big Commissioner Ashbrook.
I do too, I think that's
absolutely, why not?
You can take it, man. I don't guess we got to vote, put his name on it, though. Put your name in there, we'll get you one more.
Got it. That's all I have.
So our next item is road abandonment, Commissioner Ashbrook.
Okay, I set a packet out in front of you, I think Ms. Charlotte's got 4 or 5 extras, it's just parcel maps. This very first one that we're looking at isn't actually a parcel, that is the road that runs between Sunset Coastal Grill and the Haddix property. Spoken with our attorney a little bit, and I've spoken to a couple other people that are in real estate. And it seems to me that the intended use of that is to be a road, and our options are leave it just as it is today, or abandon it and let it revert to the property owners on either side. My recommendation today, nobody is asking us to abandon it, I would leave it as it is, as far as the road abandonment goes. No one's asked, let's just hang on to it. We can't,
And do we need to make a motion or anything on the ground that we're just gonna leave it be as is, or just
I
leave
think
it
that's
as is?
the way it is. So,
I agree.
And if we can't sell it and make money, which was my original intention,
I have spoken to someone that said that, you know, they understand that you can't sell it because it hasn't been uploaded and deeded on, but that you, there may be a way that somebody could at some point pay to have it vacated. But that he didn't know all the legalities on that, so if we find some
once the
information.
ownership reverts, they could. Okay.
So I don't know.
Well,
And I
my-
know
my
that
suggestion
Tom
today would
may
be
know
to
more
do-
than I do on
My
what they're
suggestion
talking
today
about.
would be to do nothing with it, and let's see what happens in
Well,
the
that
future.
may not even be true, but he's supposed to call me back, and had to call me back.
Okay. The next parcel that we have here,
Mr. Ashbrook,
Yes,
if I
sir.
could, since you brought me up, I've told some of you this, I have a significant conflict of interest in anything involving Blaylocks and the Haddocks in the city. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
and I did go to a second source, I actually spoke with a real estate attorney as well, so you were right, Tom. Okay, the next parcel that we have is actually at the end of 7th Street and Woodward. I had no idea, guys, we're holding on to a gem piece of property here. It backs up to the park, to the walking trail, it's in their backyard. It's 0.53 acres. I called our realtor that we currently have under contract. She said a lot of the lots that are in subdivisions are moving at about 34.9 right now. Not so much in the city limits, that is not in the subdivision. But she said at about 34.9, we could probably offload this property quickly. It's wooded, so we would have to clear it to build on it, but the backyard is our park, so it's a beautiful piece of land. We're not doing anything with it, it's a way to, fill up our coffers a little bit and rejuvenate that BP fund a little bit.
And we did have a, maybe mention to our realtor, we did this at Patrick County, like, came to us, if you remember, several months back, said that we at that point we didn't take any action on it, but as a courtesy, maybe we should let her know that, yeah, because she did bring it, I think even brought it to the board, am I correct? Do you remember that,
I
Mr.
believe she
Hill?
had a letter.
A letter to the board, so as a courtesy, maybe we should.
Well, and if we decide to go ahead and put this on the contract, I know that's coming up in a few items down the list, you can exclude a name for a realtor on the contract that says if this person chooses to buy, there is no commission. It's just a sale. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. The next parcel that we have here is actually an interesting piece too. It's 3.5 acres, and it is zoned industrial, commercial. Let's give this to someone that can do something with it. I mean, Chris Holly needs to know that it exists. We could get ourselves, I don't know if she would deal with this, because she's not dealing with a lot of businesses, but if we could get a commercial realtor to take a look at this, it could be divided up. It's great space, it's right next to the water plant. Let's get a business in there. You know what, let's open up a bottled water plant, literally, and finally sell it right from the source.
Hey, I'm all for us doing something with this property. We're not in the property business. We need to get rid of it and put that money back into it. We're gonna be in trouble this year possibly with the budget. Any help we can get to help save taxpayers, we need to do that.
And I have no idea the value of this piece of land. I've never worked in commercial real estate before, so I couldn't even guess.
But Dave, this backs up, or it's part of, industrial park phase 1, and we pay $1,500 a year, HOA,
Correct.
property owner
It's
fees.
gonna help us to get the money.
And just to get rid of that would be a little bit of help, but
No,
I'm gonna say.
Rex, do you have any idea what that was purchased for? I mean, that's kinda, it was a lot of money, wasn't it?
Over $1.5 million.
Yeah, we need to all talk about what kind of, what we need to do on that at some point. I mean, it's not gonna bring what we paid for.
No. The last piece of property that we have, I don't know, you've got basically two options, neighbor A and neighbor B. It's too small to build on, it's 0.137 acres. I would suggest that if we could get, Ms. Charlotte or someone just to draft a letter and say, hey, we're interested in offloading this property, y'all wanna split it, or you wanna buy it in its whole, in its entirety. But it's a little tiny piece of land there off of Garrison. And that's all I have there. I would like to tonight, though, make the motion that we at least add this Marvin lot to the real estate contract, so we can come up with a price. I've already spoken with her, she'd be glad to take it on under the same terms.
Commissioner Ashley, Woodward did.
Woodward, I'm sorry, Woodward.
That was 7.
Woodward,
That was seven,
Yeah.
right, 7th dead ends in Woodward, and that's the house.
That's what they did on the reason I'm.
Get her hands back to coffee, yeah. I'm not in the field. It's wet.
What she said, going to ask 35 for it. Wait,
She recommended 34.9, because that's what the other lots are going at right now in subdivisions, but this is bigger than a normal lot. Most lots are a third acre, this is a half acre.
Well, I think they would build you a little bit more than that. Let's put it
I'll go ahead and make the motion
What do you want to put on the price tag?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to list this property at 34.9 with our current realtor. And I'll leave it at that. Okay.
Got a motion by Commissioner Ashbrook. We have a second.
Second to discuss.
Second by Commissioner Lee.
We're talking about the listing renewal, and I think, a while back, when we put out the bids, the listing for the hospital property, we had 4 respond, I believe, and we said that each one would get a 6-month, go at it, and then after that, it'd be the next one in line. I think that's what we voted on. So if it's time for renewal, it's certainly, I assume if that motion was correct, that the next person in line would be getting the listing for Woodward.
And Commissioner, that's why I made the motion I did. I know that it expires 7/21. I just kind of wanted to get it into our current agreement, so when we do, in about 3 minutes, vote on this new one, that'll be
Okay.
part of the package, whoever gets it.
The only thing I'm gonna ask on that, guys, is, do we need to somehow though word this? I mean, what is the money difference? Have y'all looked at what the money difference on the second one in line is? I mean, we don't wanna pay them a whole lot more than what we got a pretty sweet deal with the
The first two were really close.
So they're real close.
Those were really close.
Okay.
And I believe it was,
And maybe.
Burke, Sabrina Burke, and, Kay Haddock's, company, is that Beach Realty? Anyway.
Maybe we need to word
Yeah.
it where the next one like that has to match what I was getting at. If they're interested.
Well, we'd have to rescind that other motion, I think, to do that.
Did we say that we were automatically going to the next on the list?
Yeah.
We did, okay.
We said after each one, we get 6 months.
Gotcha.
Commissioner, if I may, can I ask a request? The board give Clay and I at least 2 weeks to look at these properties. 2 of those that we're referring to this evening, one has storm that dissects it, one has utilities, both water and sewer. So I think we need to find that before you guys move forward on saying, what you're gonna say.
I'm fine with that, because I'm not, I can tell you, I'm not real comfortable selling these properties right this very second. I mean, I just haven't had the time to really even look at it. And the other thing, if we do sell, I wanna be extremely careful on what we do with the money.
Right.
But, if y'all are willing to wait 2 weeks,
I have no issue with that, I just know that we've been speaking, to this effect of finding out what properties we had available for a while, and I did, but I agree, if it's not on the agenda, I'm comfortable waiting until the next meeting, and I'll give another 2 weeks to research.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
No.
And if Commissioner Lowry is worried about what we do with the money, if he comes up with something to earmark it to go into a certain fund for a certain project or something like that, that way it would go into the fund. Or you could put it in an area that we're already in the budget,
something, a place to put it if we don't want it wrecked in the general fund.
All right, so where we at?
I will rescind the motion.
All right, motion is rescinded, we'll bring it up at the next meeting. And John and Claire get together and get it.
And that's all I have.
The next item is flood insurance update, and that's Commissioner Lowry.
I asked, Mr. Anderson to put this on the agenda. I'm actually the floodplain administrator for the county. We've got the new flood maps, the preliminary flood maps, have been received. We got them around May 1st, May 2nd. There are gonna be a lot of changes throughout the county, and primarily, one of the big changes is here in Fort St. Joe. It's going to affect a lot of people. A lot of the ex-flood zones are going to A's. Elevations are changing. It's going to be a big deal for people that have mortgages. So we've got our first meeting on those. It's a public open house. It's going to be held August 9th. At 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock Eastern Time at the County Commission boardroom. So if you live in the Fort St. Joe, live anywhere in the county, you can come in, ask questions, see the preliminary maps. A lot of changes, and it's going to affect a lot of people in a bad way. It's FEMA, and not a whole lot we can do about it except voice our opinions and see what they do about it. But other than that, that's all I have.
Is this an informative meeting, or is this something that we can actually take action to change it?
It's real informative. Right now, there's about a 90-day window where a property owner can have a professional do engineering services to send something to them explaining why their parcel shouldn't be changed or those type of things. So it's going to be a real interactive meeting. FEMA reps will be there. Northwest Florida Water Management District reps will be there. I'll be there, of course, but it's a public open house available to anybody who owns property within the county. August 9th at 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the county boardroom.
So do you foresee, folks that actually their designation does not change in the zone, do you foresee, by this new map that their rates will go up anyway?
They're going to continue to go up due to the National Flood Insurance Program and the Bigger Waters Act that was passed in, I believe, 2012. So most people that have residential homesteaded properties are receiving a 15% increase average. And it's going to continue to see that 15% until it goes to actuary rates. So there's nothing we can really do about it. It's a sore subject, and it's going to affect a lot of people that have mortgages around the city of Fort St. Joe that I've seen throughout the county. That's all I have.
Our next item is Bob here. I believe Mr. Farrell was here and he wanted to speak to you about some losses.
Basically, we're just trying to get our head around and recoup some expenses that was incurred during the sewage leak that we had. So we've submitted our claim to you, the invoices that we could produce, and pictures. Mrs. Lowry, were you able to explain?
Yeah, I've got some pictures. Let me pull those up and show the board.
Well, here I got printed out. Was
Mr. Farrell, did you receive an email from Mr. Anderson asking for copies of the invoice and
Yes,
pictures?
ma'am, they're right here
Okay.
as well. I forwarded them to, did he give these to you?
No, he did not, did he give them to you, John?
I can sleep.
I haven't.
Yeah, you can email them.
You can see them. You can see where. Take a scroll.
Well, I'll go ahead and, be the first one to open my mouth here. And it's, you know, we did kind of set a precedent, and it's unfortunate that I know you guys do a lot of business. I can't put a number on exactly how much you would have done those days. I'm not a fortune teller. And what we told the last people that came in here is that I can support paying for product and cleanup, anything like that. But I cannot support paying for loss of business. You've got about $1,020 worth of other than loss of business, and I would support that. But you may or may not have done 1,200 per day for 4.5 days. I don't know. I cannot justify that expense. But everything else, I agree that we should take care of.
Well, we kind of went to the low end on that, to be honest. That's just what appointments were canceled for. The majority of the people paying were tourists to come in. That's not counting walk-ins that would have happened that day. I mean, there's days that are much, 4 or 5 times that. So we just kind of went low to just recoup something. And 4.5 days was low. I mean, the spot was closed down for about 10 days, realistically. So we went very conservative to recoup something.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we need to do something.
I'm with
I'm
it.
just
I know
curious.
that we did set a precedent that, you know, we said that we wouldn't pay for, we kind of all agreed this last time, we would not pay for, lost wages or employee salaries. And that's where I don't want, you know, anyone coming back to us saying, well, you did it for one. I kind of think that's the precedent that we set, and I feel comfortable with that. Because that isn't I understand that's on the low end, but there's no way of knowing 100% certainty that that's what the damage was. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's why there's 5 of us sitting up here.
We painted ourselves in the corner pretty much with the prior vote. So,
I mean,
Have y'all gotten any further with your insurance on this?
that would be.
we don't have.
They're not going to pay.
It didn't, we recouped nothing from insurance, the deductible was too high. So everything we've done so far, Zach has just been out of our budget, which is pretty thin right now.
Literally out of the budget, it's not in there.
That's right, exactly.
I mean, at this point, I can make a motion to, pay the $1,020 if my math is correct, for everything but loss of business at this point. That's all that I'm comfortable doing. I'll make that a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ashbrook,
I'll second that.
second. Any discussion?
I want to discuss it just a little bit. Zach, are you fine with taking a lesser amount?
I mean, it's,
Almost.
I don't know if y'all know the whole history. This was also the same business that got, taken out of the building beside the Masionic Lodge. So Christmas Day, we were literally moving out to the building that we just moved into 3.5 years ago. So it's just like, and that's still an ongoing battle with that, with all everything that's happened there. But it's just, we're just trying to recoup at some point. I mean, we had a $12,000 build out in that spot, literally open for 2 weeks, and then got burned out of there. So, I'm not saying it's y'all's, position to make up for that by any means, but it's just, it's ongoing, and, I mean, we're gonna have to take this to our insurance or whoever to try to get something out of this thing.
And I'll be honest, that's what's frustrating to me. I feel like that's what insurance is for, is these kind of things. And the fact that our insurance company and your insurance company are not covering it, same with these other businesses, it kind of infuriates me.
Our insurance said, oh, well, that's the property owners. Property owners said, no, that's the cities, and everybody just throws their hands up. And at some point, I'm fine with paying, whether it's Mr. Gibson or whoever, I'm fine with stepping up and let's get legal involved with these, with these insurance companies, start making some noise, because I have no problem at all battling them.
Is there any other businesses that were involved that we have?
Blackfin Construction.
Say, just wait, we'll find out next week.
I know Blackfin, I don't know how that affected him. And then, I know Nick has already been the building owner and, been 411.
Okay.
So,
All three, that's all of them is in that building.
there's someone upstairs, but I don't see why that would have affected hers.
We didn't give any money on.
Not for labor or lost
All
wages.
wages.
No, just everything else, the supply that they lost.
Any further discussion? So motion is that we would repay them
$1,020.
$1,020.
Yes, they're gonna be fine with that, because that's what we did last year.
I mean, I feel for you, I really do, but, no, I mean, if we set a precedent against the other company,
Well, I'm
and if
just,
we go doing it, then of course they go spring water, I get that, And we, very sorry, I don't think there's anything in our fault to talk about that, but I'm just.
Look at it. But I mean, I'll be first to say that I'm happy to sit down with Mr. Gibson, with you guys to
I wish
figure
you
out,
would.
to some way go after these insurance companies. Because the finger pointing just gets old.
And again, the whole reasoning behind this is I cannot put a concrete finger on our business. And who's to say the next person that comes up here isn't being on the low end, you know what I mean? There's no way of saying that. I'm not comfortable with it.
I totally get, this is strictly the exact one that we turned into the insurance company, that they denied everything, so.
I hate it that I wish that we got everybody put in at one time, or they're just like, but we don't know what's gonna happen next month. And now that we've set a precedent, we're gonna be in deep poop if we don't treat everybody the same.
All right, anything else? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Likewise, motion passes 5-0.
Thank y'all very much.
Oh, God, we couldn't do more.
Our last item is the listing renewal for Patton Park.
Well, I'd like to see us, the attorney go to, pull the minutes from that meeting and make sure everything, right as far as you going back to that person. I think if my memory serves me right, it's Kay Hatter. Go- Excuse me? I thought so, and make sure she still wants to, that listing. And I guess if she doesn't, we're supposed to go to the third and then the fourth, I assume. But that's what we've got to do, is inform the motion and it's passed 5-0, so.
And you know, that's my thing, is just, maybe you reckon, just y'all run the figures, because I don't remember what they, I mean, I'm not contesting who was second in line, let's just be sure that we run them all, see who's second in line, because y'all are saying one, and I thought it was somebody else.
Right.
So I don't remember.
Well, my motion would be to renew, the listing for Patton Park with the person that was second in line from our prior meeting and motion.
Second lowest, is that what you're saying?
That was correct. That was correct.
Motion by Commissioner Brazil, I have a second.
Second for discussion.
Second by Commissioner Edwards.
Do we need a motion if that's already a motion that was made? That at the end of the listing, it would go on to the next lowest person?
If that's what the motion was 6 months ago, I don't remember. But, you're not gonna have a meeting before it expires, so just in an abundance of caution, I'd go ahead and do it.
Okay. Motions? I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
I'm gonna be staying, I've got business relationship. Ms. Hatton.
Passes four.
So,
Do you have some of those forms?
Yes, sir, I have some in the office. I did not bring any. I did not realize we needed one tonight. If you'll stop by the office and sign the form, conflict of interest, we'll attach it to the minutes. Mr. Mayor, I don't have anything else under new business.
Public Works.
Yes, sir, real quick, phase 3 water is listed in the projects update, it's Highway 71, Highway 98 water line, that project that began this week. There was a scheduling issue with FDOT, we had planned to start boring today, that's not gonna happen till Thursday. So, just so the board knows, and the community knows, that the intersection of Highway 71 and Long Avenue, next to Temple, will be shut down for the most part all day.
Thursday.
Thursday, right, we're gonna have to dig the intersection out, make our tap, push a shot across 71, so once that's done, everything else should be fairly straightforward.
It's pretty deep, too, isn't it, John?
It's gonna be an interesting shot.
Yeah, I remember we looked at it before, it's pretty deep right in that area.
Right, but that work has began, so, again, Thursday will, actually be pushing pipe on the road. So we're hoping next 30, 45 days is the longest, that's gonna be online and functional. So it should be a fairly short project.
And that is a week from Thursday, the listing.
No, it's
This or this
2
week.
days. Yeah, the boring crew is already here.
Okay.
Again, they just got delayed because of the FDOT inspections.
Anybody have anything else for John? I just give him.
I'd like to bring something up real quick, y'all, it's not on the agenda, but, a month or two ago, John and I rode down to, or I had John ride down and look, and,
I can hardly hear you. I can hear everybody else but you.
I think they cut it down on purpose, ma'am.
Okay, now that's better.
You hear me? I'm sorry, I appreciate you letting me know. But anyway, we rode down, we looked at it, and there were some repairs that needed to be done. We were gonna take the money from, not the boat ramp, the boat rental fee that we got at Clifford Sims Park. John, can you run by real quick what the difference in the numbers were on the bids that you got or the quotes?
It's been a long, drawn-out process, this was nothing that we had, architectural plans on, so it's taken a lot longer than I wanted to get these prices back. We basically went for 2 quotes, one was for around the $6,000 mark, and the second one, which we received today, was right around, $3,200. So about half. First quote. So, the next meeting, we have on the agenda, for you guys to review, and make a decision on what we're going to do.
That's what my question was, guys, since we brought it up, and we were just gonna get some quotes, is it below the threshold, is that something we need to vote on, being that we're taking it out of there, or is that something we can go ahead and get John to start moving forward on. Tom,
It's under your bid threshold, I don't know that you need a motion.
that's
We
what,
have,
are
we
y'all,
have that kind of money in the program.
Yes, we have 60,000.
are y'all okay with that?
Go over it one more time for me, Commissioner, please.
We got some repairs at both of those docks, Rex. I can hear myself now. And we've been trying to get the repairs, you know, the quotes on the job that's down there. The first one was like $6,100, as John was saying. The one came in today was around $3,200. I'd like to just go ahead and move forward since we don't have to vote on it. It falls below the threshold, and go ahead and let John take off on that.
If you, I'd be glad to describe the work if you like.
Boat ramp though, you're talking
No,
about.
No,
so
not
this
boat
is
ramp.
at, Clifford Sims Park,
Oh,
Jetty
oh,
Park, the two
yeah.
fishing piers.
Yeah.
in particular.
But I didn't wanna duplicate anything we're gonna do when we get the SWC money. But we just understand.
Safety issues need to be addressed as well as, just general repair of the decking, some of the substructure.
Are you talking about on the gazebo too?
Just,
I had a call about the
just,
gazebo was really bad.
at Frank Bay Park, it is. But that's nothing to do with
So
this.
we're down here at the marina at Clifford Center.
We could use the boat ramp money to pay for that, to repair those boards.
Oh, we can buy radios, we can do whatever we want to.
And, and John, are you working, on some figures, some pipelines, Avenue D, E, and F?
Yes, sir.
We
I've put
have
some,
to do that ourselves.
I've put some preliminary numbers together last week, based on the plans as drawn. I think that total, if I remember correctly, was around 305, 302. So, I feel like there's some ways to tweak that, definitely want to get to Clay and discuss some of our options and see if it gets to that point, should the board want to take a serious look at it, then probably trim that down quite a bit.
But I'm fine with the repairs of Clifton Center.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, and I'm spending that money.
Right. That's a pretty good price, though, 3,100 for all the work that's gotta be done.
That's all I have.
And I just thank you for a couple of things I asked you to take care of this next couple of weeks. The door is closed.
Yes,
The brain's working great. I appreciate everything done. All right, Larry?
Mr. Mayor, y'all should have a copy up there of the final bids for the White City renovation of the tank up there. We'd like to take a look at that if we could.
All a bit of difference,
Yes. And it's actually coming in under budget.
I'll make
and
a
where's the
motion.
money coming from?
It's in the budget.
It's in the budget.
It's in this budget.
Everybody had a chance to look at that?
I'm good with that. I'll make the motion that we take, US Tanks as the low bidder.
Second.
Have a motion from Commissioner Thurman, we have a second from Commissioner Ashwood. Any further discussion?
Have one thing, is that the reason why they got low water pressure there?
Yeah,
What-
We're talking about the pressure tank out there. What we're talking about, not the ground storage, but the pressure tank.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. What you got, Larry?
That's it.
That's it? Wastewater.
I want to thank you guys for commission meeting with me this week. We've added the 2 doses so far of the ST13 to our lagoon. And we don't expect to see anything for a while. We've got some microbiology, so, but all that's going okay. Right now we're spraying. Everything is up and running. So, yeah, we're trying to get rid of water as fast as we can.
What about, Matt's hand?
He cracked a finger today. He's back to work tomorrow.
He played football worse than that.
That's what I tried to tell him.
All right, anything else? Come on up here, Clay.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Going down the list here, the golf cart crossing permit, I assume they're just gonna send that straight to y'all. I probably won't see that. I think that's what they did last time. So we'll keep an eye out, we'll follow up with them in case you don't see it. It's been about 30 days, I anticipate it's gonna be 30 days. Right. But last time on 71, I think they sent it straight to City Hall, I never even saw it. So, but we'll keep that on this until we get it. Kind of going back to what John was talking about with some of the water line work, I think that's on phase 24. I think is what that price was. Basically, Water Management District has got some money that you can apply for this year. I think it's due August 10th. So we have another meeting before we have to actually send in an application. Maybe we'll get some clarity on this CDBG thing before then, so you can kind of decide. The two options that we've at least talked about, that being one of them here recently, but before that, maybe some of the downtown area, if we get the CDBG thing worked out. So those are a couple options there. We'll finalize it next meeting, but we got another two. John talked about 7198 water line replacement, Harrison Avenue pavement. We plan to send those plans to DOT tomorrow, probably have them review it. That's from 71 to 16th Street, and resurfacing that. We'll send those to them. They'll take a couple of weeks to review it, provide back any comments, and we'll address those, and they'll say bid it. So sometime next 30 days, we'll probably advertise it. Be ready to go on that. Road bond money. I'm not sure specifically what we need to talk about tonight. I think y'all know what the budget the county said was. I'm not real sure what we need to talk about, if anything, but it's on there, so.
But we just need to probably, verify how much money we are gonna get from the other two commissioners and prove what we got and see how far we can go with it. Am I correct in saying that?
Well,
I think the county sent back something, said that the last meeting was at.
Yeah, they had a specific list.
They had a list of roads.
Depending on paving.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
that was $1,050,000 or something like that.
Right.
Because
That's all it was our field.
Yeah, so what, I think what we had talked about after that came out with Mr. Brett and Mr. Anderson was, do you just do the road and the water line and kind of cross your fingers on the sewer, and the sewer needs it.
That's the option.
So I think that's maybe where.
Perhaps that'll be something you need to workshop and just kind of kick it in the table and see what we can do.
I'd love to do that, just have a meeting just for that and let's talk about it.
Like a workshop on that.
Mr. Mayor, would you call us for a workshop on that?
Does everybody wanna do it?
Lunch is always fun.
But do it as
How long we talking about taking the workshop?
Depends on whichever way you talk.
Depends on y'all.
say an hour.
So, what day at lunchtime everybody be there?
How much time do we need to notice next week?
Next week. Can everybody make Wednesday the next week at 12?
Sure, I'll call behind me.
I'm good.
Everybody good?
Yeah, I've got my grounds here from Tennessee that week at the beach, but I can slip off for an hour. Right, do me good to get off.
What
the
day
beach.
is that, Miss Charlotte, next week?
27.
27 at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Work with you, Clay?
Yes, sir. The 6th and 7th Street drainage, that was the piece of property off of Woodward that mentioned earlier we just need to look at. There is an easement on that property, our surveyors found it when they were doing some survey work, so we just need to look into what that easement's for, maybe for the storm. But, that's kind of the outfall for that area, so.
Right.
We'll get with John here next 2 weeks.
I think there's still room, but I'm not sure I do need to go
There may
into
be.
that.
Just tell us how much of it we can sell.
Move back up to the road at the bottom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I probably think we need to try to get Commissioner Quinn and Commissioner Barnes to attend that meeting if at all possible.
I agree with that.
Somebody would reach out to them, let them know when we're having it, if they are be available. What else we got, Clay?
The last two there, the boat ramp improvements that we're working on, that's still on track to, this fall, but no real updates on those two. And the work at the keeper's quarters should finish up, next week. We're gonna get the building official to come look at what we've done, make sure he's happy with it, and then go get the Should be by next Friday. Should be wrapped up. That's all I have.
Thank you, Clay. How's that new baby?
I was last thing.
Baby's great.
Bounce on basketball yet?
We're sleepy.
Oh, we might go.
That baby's not sleeping as good as a person.
But it's all good.
I didn't want you to think they were all just sweethearts.
This one,
Slept
it's
all night.
all good. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Clay. Code enforcement, everybody, we're on page 25. Checking everybody getting their, code enforcement update. You get yours?
No.
What he sends you,
Email.
email. He supposed to send you a thing.
My email is not, I've gotta get my email.
He'll send you one, you got it. And special pickups that we're doing around town, he sends us that.
Gotcha.
But we stay on top of exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, so more detail on that.
Yeah, a lot more detail.
Special hearing today?
They're having it as we meet, they have
Okay.
6 o'clock, had two cases to be heard.
Maybe we got two people that haven't been. We should put them in. All right. Police department.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I do not have anything on the agenda today. Any of y'all have questions for me?
I would like to make a comment, maybe you can help me out on this, but one of the, I had a phone call from a gentleman back, I think he said in April. He told me to pull it up on Facebook, because there was one of our officers that he was standing by that crawled into a vehicle on a traffic wreck on the Highlandview Bridge, and it's on our Facebook account. Do you know what officer that was or anything about what? He wants to thank us.
I do, it was Officer Ricky Tobin.
Well, they say, I don't have a Facebook account, but, the guy was standing there and he just wanted to commend our law enforcement officer and that particular, Ricky Tolbert on his, heroism for what he did that day. I wasn't there, I haven't seen the video, but we appreciate your officers.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm telling you, we've got a great police department, and there's not a one of them that wouldn't have done that. I mean, there was a guy with a broke back in a ditch, upside down in 2 feet of water. And he took his gun belt off and got in that car and helped put that gentleman on the back. But again, and kudos to Ricky, but everybody at the police department did that. And, you know, I don't know if you have any more questions for me.
I don't,
or
I
not,
just
but
wanted you to verify that for me because I didn't.
There are pictures on Facebook. And, you know, in wake of everything that's been going on the last 2 weeks, you know, Port St. Joe has shown their support for us. And, you know, on behalf of the entire police department, I would like to thank our community, our business leaders, citizens. I mean, we've had people that have come, brought cards of support. We got churches praying for us. It's awesome to see that kind of support. Tim in the Star wrote an awesome article last week. I think maybe there's even another one Thursday. So we appreciate all the support.
We appreciate it.
Chief, I have one comment. Have you noticed an increase of Pokemon game being played in town? I mean, I hate to bring it up, but it is a new fad, and there's people everywhere. Are you noticing any safety concerns now with the number of people increased in certain areas?
We haven't noticed any safety concerns. We have had a couple of people that we've been out with that were called in as suspicious, or our officers thought were suspicious that were playing Pokemon. The federal government sent out an intel brief to all law enforcement agencies. You may have seen it on the news.
There were 60 kids on the pier out there at Frank Bay Park, and that's why when you were talking about safety issues, I'm thinking maybe we do need to address those, because there's plenty of people utilizing that space now.
It's the latest fad.
But I guess I would just advise the community to look out when you're driving, because more than likely, they're not looking out for you.
Yeah, we've had,
Pokemon.
I'm telling
we
you.
have a citizen that apparently has I don't know how it works, a group of Pokemons in their driveway, and everybody in town rides by and hits their, whatever they hit on their phone and play Pokemon in their driveway.
I'm gonna get that one.
Thank y'all.
Chief, I got an email the other day that said there were a bunch of break-ins in cars on the Cape, I think.
There were, I don't know how many they had 2 days in a row. They had numerous car break-ins on the Cape. We had 2 citizens here that called in the third morning and said they thought their car had been gone through, but nothing of value was taken. So,
You know, we put something on Facebook trying to get the word out. You need to lock your vehicles and lock your homes. Because that's all they're doing is, and I don't know, you know, the sheriff's office would know more about that. I imagine it's probably somebody who's here on vacation and took a stroll 2 nights in a row and hit every unlocked car.
Or it could have been somebody looking for a Pokemon.
Could have been. Could have been.
Right. Didn't think about that, did you?
As long as they stay out of the city, they're all right.
Anything else for the chief?
No, thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
City clerk.
I do not have anything, sir.
Citizens be heard. Anyone in the audience wish to speak, come on up.
Thank you, Commissioners, the dignitaries and guests. My name's Joby Barfield. If you don't know who I am, I'm Joby Barfield. I'm running for sheriff in Gulf County. And that needs to be said from a story. Last Saturday, a friend of mine and his teenage son went from one end of this county to the other, putting out political signs. We were very careful not to put them in right-of-ways, but we did put them on the edges. And we put some in people's yards. Monday morning, I got a phone call that code enforcement was picking up my signs. So I pursued it. I called the county and said, we're out of it. We don't do that. We're not going to be fooling with any of the signs until after the election. So I went to the city. And it was Ricky. I think it's Richie. I never have a name for that. Let me stop right here. I want everybody to understand how I feel about him. I've known him for years and years and years. I know his mother and daddy. I know his aunt and uncle. I know his grandmother and his granddaddy. And every one of those people are the top of the line people, first class people. Okay? I'm not going to ever say anything bad about them. They're the kind of people, every one of them, that we want in these communities. And I admire every one of them. And I admire Richard for going from where it's difficult to find a place to work, educating himself and getting himself a job. And I admire him. The consistency sort of bothers me. And I don't mind telling you, it sort of got under my skin a little bit knowing that Ricky was picking them up since he works for the sheriff's office. I thought, this is not a good thing. This picture has been painted with a bad brush. So I finally got to talk to him. He said, the ordinance does not allow signs anywhere in the city unless it's on private property. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's fine and dandy. But I got a win-win situation I'll propose to you in just a minute. I rode through town on the way over here. I rode through the north side, and there's signs out in the right of way. The Red All has one at the corner of 71 and First Street. The Dockside has one across the street. There's one in front of McDonald's. There's one in front of Hardee's. Go down 16th Street and look at that array of signs. The inconsistency of it appears to be a problem. So here's my proposal to you, it's a win-win situation. It is election time. We want to put our names out there. All of us do. Every one of us that's running. And I'm sure you probably did at one time or the other when we put some signs out there. So can you waive or delay or find some way to let the political signs stay until about the middle of November? By that time, all the elections will be over. You have about a week to pick up all of our signs for the last one standing. That's a win-win situation.
Mr. Barfield, I brought this to the attention. I was looking to see if I had the minutes from last week where in the minutes Ms. Charlotte quoted me. And this is nothing against Richie at all. He's doing what he was supposed to do. But I totally agree with you. We need to either take them all down or leave them all up. We can't have a double standard. And I don't think that's being done on purpose. That's not what I'm saying. But I do understand your concern with the ties. And I don't know how this board feels, but I feel like until after the election, we need to leave people alone unless it's in a in a place where it's a traffic problem where somebody get hurt. But I
If
do
it's a
not
safety
think it's
issue,
right.
I
I
agree.
do, and if it's a safety issue, it needs to come up. But if not, and I'll be willing to make that motion that we do that, because it's wrong to let some people do it and some people not. And I did run when I had a lot of people that wasn't for me, and my signs, I bought 600 signs because only about 300 stayed in the ground. Cause I was running against an opponent, and then the mayor, I was running against him too. So, I understand where you're coming from, not this mayor.
Those signs cost over $7 a piece. They were professionally designed, or professionally made, printed, and delivered. It's not something I want to just take lightly, those signs. But I appreciate you doing it. I think that's an answer for all of us. Everybody can have a safe face, everybody be happy.
We're gonna work Richie to death if we don't.
Yeah, he can't,
He
he
can't,
can't hit everyone that's
he
in the right
can't,
way.
and then he's gonna get accused
Yeah.
of showing favoritism. I
That's
say until after the election, our, sign ordinance reads, you got 5 days to pick them up. If you don't get them picked up in 5 days, then we'll fine you $1,000 a sign.
Not that much. Sheriff don't pay that much.
Right, that sign just went up.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we did.
Well, I thought we had went over this once before in previous elections, and we kinda had an
We
agreement
did.
that we wouldn't pick them up during the
We
election
did.
time. Now, I don't know, I have to go back and look at some minutes from a while back, but that's what I thought. Could've been as much as 2-3 years ago.
Oh, when I brought up the sign ordinance and I changed a lot of stuff in the sign ordinance, there's actually stuff that's not in the new ordinance that I had wrote on a piece of paper that never got put in there. Part of it being that we leave political signs alone during that.
In my take, I mean, it's frustrating, and it's very frustrating when you are running against an opponent that's putting signs everywhere, and you're trying to do the right thing. I cannot support that. I cannot support waiving an ordinance just for a amount of time. I can support changing the ordinance, but I think that, we need to follow the ordinance. Then it's fair to everybody. If it's one sign per yard, let's make it one sign per yard. Quit putting signs under every stop sign in town. We need to enforce what we all agreed on, or we need to change the ordinance. And that's where I stand. I mean, I think it would be a lot cheaper for us all if there were limited places we could put our signs. We wouldn't have to buy so many. But,
If I can add, the guardrail that's out there on the last curve past Dixie Belle, I had 3 signs out there. That's the first one she picked up, and that's where I got the phone call from.
Yeah.
Those are not in the way of anybody. They were over against that guardrail. They were not a factor for anybody walking, riding a bicycle, a scooter, golf cart, or vehicle.
I'm just not for making an exception. If we're gonna do it, let's change it. Let's make it part of the ordinance that during an election, 30 days prior, whatever it may be, that we don't enforce that part. That yard signs would be okay in certain areas.
So they put a temporary moratorium on it though until after the election. That's what we've done in the past with some of the issues I've known. I'm all for it. I feel you 100%.
Thank you.
I just feel the reason we make an ordinance is because we need something to enforce, and so we should ultimately change
But
the
we gotta
ordinance.
enforce it. We can't get this far along into it and then not enforce
It
it.
has to be enforced.
So it hadn't been enforced at this point.
And if the problem is that it's too hard to enforce it,
You need to take it out. I
or
agree, but
all
right
of our
now,
officers are gonna have trunks full of signs.
you guys messing with that sign ordinance, I'm telling you, we'll be here 6 months trying to get it changed.
How many signs been picked up? You have any idea?
I don't pick them up, so I don't know.
They put them out there at the city barn, don't they?
I don't know. He's got a pile back, I don't go through it, so I have no idea.
But they are down there.
That's where he put it. He doesn't tell
I
me.
don't know.
I don't either.
I asked him where it was, he said there was no van.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the past, they put them down.
I've seen,
And I didn't know.
there is an area where you keep them, that's kept them in the past.
And he's
You know,
supposed to
people
give
fill
those
their trucks
tracks
and
on.
Yeah, you can't get rid of them. Can't pick them up.
I'd say let's don't get crazy with it. If it's deemed unsafe by, Richie, I mean, that's,
And we just need to give it to Richie and say, Richie, listen, if it's unsafe, but if not, we don't need to get into politics with somebody else's signs.
Let me
Greg?
tell you, let me say one thing about people putting them in their yards. as I walked through the highways and byways and knocking on doors, a lot of people are reluctant to put a sign in their yard.
Especially if you're running for sheriff.
That's right. It really gives them some mixed feelings right there, do or I don't know. But I have found some people saying, no, I don't want to do that. But no signs show up. The opponent signs don't show up either. But they haven't looked at it, and apparently it's an intimidation. That's one of the other things, and like out that guardrail, that hurt no one. Some people coming from the beach see those things, name recognition is what we all do. That's where we put those signs up.
How about Hess and Wilson? Don't they have a lot of signs in right of ways?
Been picked up, I think.
And
I don't know what happened to Wilson. He and Glenn Hess, now, Richie said he had picked up some Glenn Hess signs, mine and some Ricky Tolbert signs.
I'll just ask all of you to go drive down towards Pier Park and look at the right-hand side of the road. Every 5 feet is a different sign. Every candidate must have 100
But
signs on that stretch
after
of road.
November,
It looks
they'll
so
be all
tacky.
done. But let me just say this, okay, and you answer me this, and if you can answer me this fairly, I'll drop what I'm gonna say. But we did not mess with one sign during the city Fort St. Joe's local election.
You did, I agree with that.
No, I don't think that is.
Why aren't we
I
messing
know
with
there
these
was some
people
in right
now?
of way.
No, hey, I'm all for it.
So
Be
what
fair
I'm
to
saying
everybody,
is,
is
be
all I'm
fair
saying.
to everybody. After the election, you gotta get the signs up, you got 5 days.
I had at least 10 in the right of way. I mean.
Yeah, they didn't do it because
Chief?
I talked to the city manager, we decided not to.
We decided not to.
I know, so we can't have a double standard.
So let's instruct Richie to leave the day on time alone until after the election.
Let's do it.
So that's gonna be about in November. I intend to carry mine right on into November.
It's 5 days after the election, I think is what
We
the.
got 5 days after the election.
You're running as a,
I'm a Republican. I'm running against Mike. It's he and I, head to head. He's defending his turf and I'm after it.
Now, if your race is decided, is it August 30th, or you actually,
August the 30th is a primary for the Republicans.
but if you don't win that race, you don't go to the
I'm
general,
out.
so if you're out, then I think you can't leave your signs up.
Well, I'll take them up.
No, after.
he said he.
But once I'm out, I'll take them
Yeah,
up.
yeah, if you win.
He gonna win.
I don't intend to be out.
Sure.
I intend to go to November.
That's what we'll do. Try to make sure they leave them alone for a little while.
I appreciate that, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think you've got a motion on the floor, don't you?
Do we
I said I
make a
would make a motion, I didn't. Do you wanna make a motion to
No,
do
I
that?
don't think we have
We
to.
don't have to, we can just handle that kind of time.
It's out of control, probably.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, ma'am, come on up.
Everybody knows I'm Radcliffe, so, evening, gentlemen, and I hadn't really planned to say anything, but Mr. Barfield kind of brought it to my attention. My complaint with signs is as a downtown business owner, we've got a number of businesses who put their little sandwich boards out in the islands, the city-owned islands. And I thought that was against the rules.
We've been a little lenient on that.
They're supposed to take them up every day. Are they doing that, Ms. Barbara?
No, they leave them out all weekend long.
I cannot speak to that. I do not believe they're being removed on a day-to-day basis.
We probably need to step it up and make sure that they take them in at night. But
Yeah.
I'm real hesitant on trying to get anybody that's on Reed Avenue, not for them to advertise some kind of way on 98 if they have a business there. And I thought at one time, we were gonna make like a lamp post at every road that came in to Reed and put
We were talking
people
about that.
businesses on it, but it's never happened.
Isn't there something supposed to go in at 4th and 98 about it's something that, redevelopment agencies do,
Gateway,
we have like a
Gateway
little,
Arch, and then
yeah,
we
and then we
agree,
have the businesses there.
Billy Joe Rich Park there was gonna be
Right.
somewhat of a
Kiosk.
kiosk with all the businesses.
Right.
Where
But
they're
that's
all-
not gonna do anything for people driving down the road.
I
If they
understand,
don't stop and look at the kiosk, if you got a decorated like light post or something, with hanging down, 4 or 5
right,
businesses, and they're gonna see them as they come through Highway 98.
okay.
And that's what I wanna do, and then maybe we can get rid of the sign.
like they got it.
Okay, well, I'm with, Commissioner Ashbrook, if we have ordinances, we should enforce them. Then the second part of my question, isn't there something in the sign ordinance about when someone goes out of business, that within 30 days, their sign is supposed to be off that building?
I don't
Tom,
think
you
so.
know anything about that?
There's something, I don't remember the timeframe, but
But you would agree that it's
I believe it is in there that,
less than a year
Would
and a
you
half?
check into that for us?
sure.
Because the portside trading signs are still all
Right,
over that building,
yeah.
and the building isn't even owned by the Todds anymore, so.
What's that other building down there,
Oh,
Punch Out Eagle,
Yeah,
whatever?
I'm wondering if it's
It's the
attached,
same way.
if it's
Yeah.
attached to the
It
real
needs to
estate.
go
I don't know.
too, that sign needs to go.
So
We
if you're,
pay for facade grants then and never even open the building.
anyway, that was my only thing, is about the signs that are put out, sandwich boards, that I don't believe are being removed on a day-to-day basis, and people who go out of business, their signs remaining on the businesses for longer than the sign ordinance permits.
I'm gonna check into that for
Yeah,
you.
we do need to look at that,
I mean,
daily
that's-
removal, because we went against the sign ordinance. A lot
Right,
of
we did
People to
something
do
to help.
that, and
And
they're
it's
not.
just like golf
conforming, we'll
carts.
have to-
Nobody wants to play by the rules.
Yeah, because it's for Commissioner Lowry's benefit, it's called an off-premise sign. You can't have a business over here and then advertise off the property. That's what our sign ordinance says. So some of these folks that are way off the highway, we said, okay, put your little sign out there like Dockside does, and those, take it in every night.
Yeah, I think it's one thing if it's on the sidewalk in front of your business, or like the antique shops, they set up a little garage sale in front of their store. Yeah, that's one thing, but they bring it in at the end of the day.
And that thing's so tough, we made the churches take their signs down.
I think we just need to visit these people and have the signs out. Let them know, we're bending the rules for you, so you've got to do what we need you to do, let's take those signs out. They're legal, but leave them overnight, some will say all weekend, and they're not even open. I mean, they're not even open, they got signs.
I know we talked to Ronnie, like, do Ronnie could post that and
Well, that's
We
the
will
thing,
work
though,
on
the-
that.
the citizens
We'll
are
work
getting
on that.
confused on to what we're gonna enforce and what we don't.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to speak tonight? Let's do with you, Mr.
I
Thurman.
don't have anything tonight.
I'm good, Mr. Mayor.
You good? I'm gonna say welcome back to you, sir. Glad to see you back.
Glad to be back.
Hope you continue to get doing better. Our prayers have been with you, I guarantee you.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
I'm just talking out of turn.
Only thing I want to bring up, is the Logan Income Housing Project that was brought up at the last meeting. The county brought it up today, and there's been really no dialogue lately on it. The county brought it up, they're going to send a letter out, and ask, the group to come and be at the next county meeting. I don't know if we wanna do the same, or it's.
We need to go face to face and see where they're at.
I agree.
Yeah, all we got was an email in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Jim emailed Rick Heyman, and he did email back and said something
Pretty
about
vague.
funding of, it's compound, but it was in his email. He did respond, but he really didn't give a concrete answer why they hadn't done it.
Last I'd heard is construction in December, but.
It's July.
Yeah,
I was told July.
We just need to know one way or another.
We
I guess,
need to
I guess we
hold
could
the feet to the fire, man.
go and send a letter or something to
I think about it.
invite them to the next meeting, or in August.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's our first meeting in August.
Ms. Charlotte,
Ms. Charlotte, can you do that for us? Or
Yes,
can
sir.
you- Thank you, ma'am. That's all I know.
Is it?
Well, Commissioner Ashbrook stole my thunder about the property earlier.
Sorry about that.
You stole a little bit from welcoming Ken Murphy back, but I'm glad to see him back, so that's all I've got.
All you got? And, I don't have anything else, so this is